Hi, I'm Jill.
And I'm Gianna.
And welcome to the We Watch It All podcast, where we watch it all
and give you our opinions.
AKA, was I supposed to keep talking? Yeah, right?
No.
I was chiming in on your line, huh?
Yeah.
Oh boy, the opinions no one ever asked for, and apparently I do it anywhere I can, even on your line.
Yeah.
Sorry. Maybe I thought you just needed a little help. I have a little bit of a frog in the throat this morning.
We'll get it out.
Hi, and welcome to season 17.
I thought you were doing the intro. I'm like, oh, I thought that's what you're doing. I'm like, we're not getting rid of that. She sounds like she's trying to start a car.
No. Episode 8, or as I like to put it, season 8, episode 17.
Well, before you wrote it, episode 17, season 8.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Oh, huh?
Stay with me. Backyard bikini clash. Yeah, I don't really know what that. I mean, I get it. I know
they
where
clashed
yeah.
in the backyard. Some of them were in bikinis. Some of them were in scuba suits. Some of them were in Spanx. Really?
It was interesting. Let me just say this one thing that is annoying me about OC.
What?
You probably will get it because you're into the whole video, editing type stuff. But they do this darn rainbow, like, what do you call those things? Not
Gradient.
filters. Yeah, like on every
like a filter.
It's like a transition.
I noticed that when they were in.
They've been
not
doing.
Not who the hell is Gina?
Gina is. She's one of
Gina's
them.
Gina, yeah. Well, I don't know why in my head I was spelling Gina Genna.
I think you're thinking of
Jenna.
Oh, I thought you were going to say.
But I was trying to say Emily's mother-in-law's house. That one. No, I get them tripped up. No, but on the house they had like these circles. It was like a circle, and then like the gradient. It was like it's not even like a rainbow. It's like green and orange. They had it. Yeah, it looks very out of 2012.
Yes, that's what I think it is. It's like, what are you? Yeah, like it's not even good. Because the first thing I noticed was they do those like 3 screenshots of like different,
they always done that. Yeah,
whatever.
They
stack their B-roll, and then they come across that with this like rainbow.
That's what I'm saying. And then there was a scene when later
it makes it
on,
look cheesy. I'm gonna be honest.
Later on, when Jen, Taylor, and Chen, and they did this thing where it dropped they transitioned with it. It was supposed to, I think, look like when you look and get your eyes tested and they put the glass dial through, and you'd hear it go swoop, and you'd hear it like clear your eyes, swoop, clear your eyes. But they were just adding that effect at that point. And
that I didn't see. I'm gonna have to watch carefully for these things.
And this is why I said when we watched New York, I liked the intro so much. I liked how they were doing the show. It was very clean. It's like, this feels very cheesy and goofy. And it's like, I don't know. I just feel like they could have something really nice and sleek as well for Orange County that doesn't have to look like bright and fun poppy colors.
No, I agree with you. I do feel like the editing, after watching all the different shows together, like Atlanta, OC, Beverly Hills, and like that. Well, you know what's
interesting? We're watching like the old editing versions on Atlanta. And it's just so like...
I feel like the editing group and producers and all them are all the same constantly season through season. I do feel like that for the majority of it. And I think they try to match whatever style they had. Like, Beverly Hills is very rich looking usually when they do it.
Yeah.
And OC, I think they always tried to make it bright, white, yes. And New York, it's not that, I don't want to use the word dingy, that's not what I want. But, it's more dark and edgy is where I'm trying to go with it.
They're going for like this like sleek, mature.
Yeah, but I think there's a way to do this without like being rainbow bright cheesy.
In a weird
just
way.
make it bright and.
I'm grateful that we don't have to watch the taglines because I don't like their intro.
No, I don't like their intro.
I hate those sparkles and things. Like, I think it's the sparkles on the. I don't know. I could talk about how much I don't like this forever.
I think it's the color choices that I don't like. The sparkles I could get away with because that might be a way to, if it was bright white stuff, but. It's the color choice that I'm not liking. I just don't. I don't know. Anyway, let's just go deep because we're starting off with. I don't even want to say it. I don't even want to say it because I really, truly did not care for him. But it's my newest favorite extension of the Housewives, Shane. I don't even know how that's coming out my mouth.
Usually they do the little like catch up on where everybody is, and here we are.
They heard me.
I thought they were just gonna do like. We were gonna see like the little bit of them talking, and then right into like all. No,
they went right into
long, steady scene with Emily.
Yeah, and the only thing I could say is sometimes they were doing those little like blurp, 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 blurp of each person, unless they ended it with like a fight, like when they were away and like Taylor and Heather were fighting, and then they jumped right back into the fight. But this was just like the start of something fresh. Like, let's talk pool party.
It was like it almost like caught me off guard because it broke the status quo. I was like, oh. Okay.
Yeah, instead it was... well, here's my thing. I honestly am not sure if this was meant to be like a little thing, but then after they went into the next scene, I was like, no, these are actual like full-blown scenes. But they start with Emily and Shane, and they're in the like a waxing place, and he's getting like waxing done to his face. Yeah, so here's my thing. I plucking like my eyebrows and stuff, I hate to say, is like, I never thought it was an addictive thing, but I watched...
You really do like doing it.
No, but I watched my aunt doing it, and she actually told me one time, she's a little bit like me, she was actually plucking in the streets of Brooklyn while driving the car. Mm-hmm. She thought she needed to pluck her eyebrows. And
that sounds like something you would do.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, I'm my aunt to a T. Sometimes I really believe it. But she was telling me how... she's like, I gotta stop plucking them because it becomes addictive, and I feel that way too.
I wonder if that's like, like just pulling it out with your fingers.
Yes, I do think it is, but I try to curtail myself because I don't, obviously want no eyebrows.
Listen,
but
here's my thing: when I discovered the tweezers, I made my eyebrows way too short and way too tiny.
That's the whole thing.
And now I embrace the thick eyebrow. I just take my little razor.
Because you realize it doesn't like really hurt as much or whatever. But there's no way sticking that wad of wax up your schnoz and yanking it down with a stick does not hurt.
I thought you were supposed to have hair in your nose. It's like having eyelashes.
No, you are. You are supposed to have hair in your nose because it's supposed to block like the pollutants and different things, particles from going in your nose. Just do a trim.
Yeah, like the little that. But I mean, if she put that thing up there and he moved, and I'm like, oh my god, it's all gonna get stuck in his nose.
Well, no, she had to go a couple times for Emily to get like whatever was in there out.
She just kept holding the conversation while she's getting her nose hair ripped out.
I don't care. That has to make your eyes, because when I used to do the COVID testing, that would make my eyes tear just by sticking the Q-tip up my nose and like twirling it against it. Yeah. So there's no way that's, I don't know. Moving on though, they're talking about this party, and Shane makes some funny jokes again. Like, I'm saying, like, they're not mean, but they're actually, like, funny.
I was seeing other people online saying, like, he's better this season, like you were saying.
So maybe it was just, the whole pressure. Yeah. I mean, there's no way to not be on the TV doing this and not feeling bad about yourself. And, I mean, he was basically saying that, I guess because she was now waxing her booty, that she would be the fastest down the slip and slide. I mean, it was just like, to me, I mean, all right, could have been a little crude, sure, but it wasn't like, it was funny in a way. And as long as she's laughing, sometimes when he would make jokes, you knew they were hurtful to her.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah, they were hurtful to her.
She was giggling.
But these
she had a little giggle.
Yeah, she was funny. But then they immediately go right to Taylor and Jen. They are...
Yeah, this is the scene I was talking about where they use like this glass transition.
Yeah, I don't know.
It looked like they just discovered like transitions and stuff, effects today.
I don't know. They should stop. I don't like it.
This is an Ultimate Girls Trip. I like it on the Ultimate Girls Trip for some reason when they do like the crazy effects.
Well, I think because
it's different.
It's different. You've already... See, that's the problem with these Housewives. We've already got the precedence of how you're doing these shows. So if you try to come a different way, it's like, it is weird. And I mean, we'll get used to it. I don't know. But as of right now, I don't like it. And I remember last season, I think they did that rainbow stuff. And I didn't like it then. Because I remember commenting on it. It isn't just this season. Taylor and Jen, like I said, they are coming together. They're bringing a couple of their kids. I didn't understand who one of the little girls were. I don't know if it was maybe it was the husband's daughter, or maybe it was just her daughter Kennedy's friend. I really don't know. She didn't introduce her proper, like, this is so and so or something. So, and
maybe
then
she didn't really want to be on camera, but she just
she was, but I don't know.
I know, but like not like on camera.
I think maybe she just didn't
like,
realize.
I'll come, but I don't want to.
And then Jen had her son who was eighth grade, so I guess she thought they were
somewhere
close.
In the middle.
Yeah, I guess she thought that was close.
Well, that's got to be her oldest probably then.
No, she's got older. No, she has older. She's got, I think, a high school and one that is should be either out of college or in college. Like, I think there's an 18.
Oh yeah, there's a driver test one. Yeah.
So they go to Balboa Island, I think, where there's like rides and stuff. It looks like, and they go to have like corn dogs, lunch, whatever. And apparently Shannon's supposed to be showing up, but they, everybody comments on Shannon's always on Shannon time. She's always
they
late.
Took the little boat over, and they didn't even wait for. They didn't even mention that Shannon.
They took a boat over, and Shannon just walked on up, like as if she drove up to it or something. I guess she couldn't. But
so, like, why didn't we address where's Shannon? Then it made me feel like Shannon was not supposed to meet in the first half. In the second half, you're making Shannon look bad.
I don't know. Shannon was probably late. Let's be real.
Well, okay, Shannon was probably late, but I'm just saying.
So they, of course, we know they're together primarily for one reason, because off goes the kids, and they are there to discuss the lunch from the other day.
Yeah,
Heather's lunch. I mean, it was a little bit of crazy town, so this is a lunch that I don't actually mind them breaking down for us a little bit, because
even Jen was like, where did it go so south? And all I could think was, good question, girl. What happened? That, like, she really did just all of a sudden, like, here we go. That's like I think I said that last week where it was like the episode was just nothing, boom.
But yeah, like crazy talent.
But you're like, and it wasn't even like a good like, oh god.
It must be Nobu that just brings out the crazy in them. They need to stop eating there. While they're sitting at the lunch, we also get a little bit of Tamara and Heather. They are Heather's shopping for. I wasn't really sure. Like she said, she was shopping for something for Emily for her house.
Oh, was she?
But yet they were. Well, she said she was shopping for a gift for Emily, but
well, you know,
it's
she's
not
played by those
in.
New York rules.
Unless it was for the. I don't know. It was weird.
It's just like a hostess gift.
But here's my thing. Oh, maybe just like a hostess gift for.
When they walked in, you see, you know, they have the Tamara walking down the street and whatever, and the way Heather's standing in that store with, like, the brown jumpsuit, I thought she was an employee when I, like, glanced up really quick. And I'm like, wait, no, that's Heather.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. The way
I
it was,
will
like,
say, though.
I think it was the way she was looking at the product. It looked like she was, like, stocking the shelf.
Yeah. No, I know you. I remember saying that because I wasn't sure who she was meeting either. I have to say, I am getting some really cute ideas with these people on, like, little, you know, things that you could give people as gifts. I have to be honest, like some of the stuff you just never think of, but would be a really like sweet gift for like if you went to someone's house for dinner or you just went, you know, there are some cute ideas.
You don't get invited to go to places, so
no, so I really don't have to. I could save them forever.
You could, you have so many options by the time you actually get invited to a place.
True that. Heather, which I'm so glad, addresses the fact in multiple boxes on the screen that she was on an apology tour during that lunch.
I wonder if they were all like different sorries, or like did she only say sorry 5 times and then used like 10 different camera angles?
I'm going to be honest with you.
It looked different though.
Don't think so because I felt like
I tried to take note of it.
I think they might have cut some out of the actual lunch that we didn't see, but I have a feeling she did. Maybe there was
I was trying to see like was her right hand up in this one and the same hand up in the other camera.
I mean, I think there could have been I think they could have exaggerated, of course, because there was multiple boxes on that screen. Like it looked like there was like 5 down, 10 across. I mean, there seemed like there was a lot. So maybe there was a handful that were dupe, but I want to say she definitely apologized to multiple people.
Yeah.
And I feel for her, and I'm glad she acknowledged that because Heather is too strong of a personality to be like, sorry, and just be like, not like, no. I needed her to acknowledge that they were making her feel that way because I picked that right up on that lunch. So no. And then you have Tamara, who basically her beef is that she doesn't like people that lie and she doesn't like liars. And
I think her issue is
I had a tough time with that because I think some of her stuff is a little bit
but this
not
is
always true.
Like I feel like this is almost like a repeat of what she did with Brooks when she sees somebody. Like a guy with a friend that she's close with.
Yeah,
she doesn't really like the guy, even like a little bit. It's like you gotta go.
Yeah, it's different story, same kind of premise. I feel too. Yeah, like where she thinks she's doing good for the person, but really she should just butt out.
The Brooks clip. Was that in this episode or the last week's episode?
No, I don't think it might have been last week.
I don't know, but I noticed even the show was paralleling.
Yeah, with Vicky. I think her intentions are good. However, when you go back and forth between these conversations that they had, Jen was trying to say that her problem with Tamara is that A, she's drunk and she can't be reached when she's drunk like that. So it's pointless to try to rationalize, conversate with her.
Because Jen was saying all these things, and they're like, "Why don't you say?" And she's like, "She was drunk.
There's no point. You can, and we all can see that you cannot reach Tamara when she has been drinking too much. They were also like Shannon was also trying to say like, I'm sure Ryan is not. Oh, it's starting to rain. I'm sure Ryan is not happy about this whole thing either. And she's like, no, he's actually getting mad. And they show a clip of him like starting to get a little bit of annoyed. And I'm sure this guy, in a weird way, based on his personality and stuff that they've been showing, I think he likes the attention probably, as long as it doesn't make him look too bad.
Yeah.
Because everything is in the past, so whatever you're bringing up, it's already like ancient history, so you can justify it by that way in a weird way. But like Shannon said, nobody has the right to like come in here and just like talk about your business and be an expert at it. Like that's what she's trying to say. Like I understand people are concerned or they feel like whatever, but to sit around and discuss it like they're an expert on your relationship in your life, like he's not doing anything wrong to her right now.
That's what I was gonna say.
Like, it's not like Brooks was where Brooks was really doing something that was,
I think the issue is too, like what, like I really thought about it after the pool party especially. Jen seems to have dealt with this everything. Yeah. Maybe not the whole him saying, "Oh, Tamara's hot" and whatever, all that. But the past, like I really thought about all the comments that Tamara kept bringing up. Like this is in the past. Like this is old stuff. It's not.
No, and it seems like as even Tamara and her had settled it, and became friends again. So like that's what I think Shannon's trying to say, and what I get is like because Tamara's resurging this again. Now it's like, okay, well, we put it to bed, and even if, like, I didn't like what he did, now you're making me have to, like, redo this all over again and bring it all back up again and bring it, like, back to this, where it didn't need to be, because she said she doesn't really know what happened with Tamara at all. She believes that it's this other girl, Heather, who, it keeps tripping me up when they keep saying Heather, because they just say Heather, but they're talking about this other friend that they have between Tamara and Jen, that apparently she's the one that was dropping all this information and telling all this stuff. And I guess she stopped being friends with the girl for a certain time, and that's how Tamara and her reconnected, because they put it all aside, and they, I guess, ultimately blamed it on that girl, that it was all her. And Jen said she wrote Tamara a long text of, like, different things, and in the text as Tamara's reading it, it sounded like there was, like, kind of like a threat in there. And, you know, my girl Heather, she knows a threat, you know, when she hears one, because, you know, if you ever come for me and my family, just saying, you know.
This is not a threat, it's a
promise, you know. But, yeah, so she, I guess, threatened her. Jen doesn't look like a threatening kind of person, but
Not
I think
really,
she was just
but...
no, but I think she just gets to the point. She's just like, look, knock it off. There's no reason to keep doing this. Why are we still doing this? And I think she would let it go again, but I don't think Tamara's going to. I think Tamara's gonna, like, now she's really hopped up and she's gonna not let it go. But she says she honestly has enough going on in her life and doesn't need this stuff. And basically, I guess she doesn't need Tamara in her life if she's going to keep doing this kind of stuff. So, I mean, I understand that. That kind of, like, sucks. But, you know, I mean, I don't think we've heard the last of this.
Oh, no.
I think this is going to keep going, because then I think eventually the guy Ryan is going to get involved and Eddie's going to get involved. And I could see the whole crowd being involved in this shenanigans. But we'll see. So, the weird thing, I'm seeing Kelly Dodd. Because now we transition into
what a
Gina,
jump scare.
Right? Gina, the ex, which this is, like, interesting. Gina, the ex-husband, his new girlfriend, I think they've been together for a while, Britt and Matt. And I guess the kids were there playing on a playground or whatever, and they all got together to enjoy the time together. That is great. I'm so great that she's getting along with him and all. The funniest part, though, is that, like, he is actually, like, on-screen, visible, interacting, co-parenting. When she first started, he didn't even want to be on screen, because he was protecting his job or whatever. I think it was because he was cheating on her, and people would start to recognize him and realize who he was. And now it will work to his advantage for him to be on screen, because she kind of made a couple of statements that because of what happened to him, like, she asked him if he was taking courses or something. I guess he has to get recertified in certain things for whatever his job is. I'm not really sure. He has to take these courses to get back on, because when he was arrested and, you know, had these charges against him, I guess he lost some credibility or something. So I think she thinks by putting him on the TV show now, or offering the opportunity for him, he can paint himself, which is smart, in a better light, like a loving father, not such a bad guy, just somebody that, you know, handled a situation badly. Smart marketing, get on it. Somebody's teaching him the right way, because he was not willing to be on at all. Now here he is all over the screen, and they're talking kindly about him and how he's this, that, and the other thing, showing past clips of how they worked things out together. I mean, that's bravo and great, but I think Gina, her whole storyline is going to be dealing with the infidelity now. That's going to be, here we go. Because, and do I think she dealt with it? No, because I think she was so wrapped up in all the domestic violence charge, her drinking charge, that I don't think she had time to, like, actually
just
sit
one thing
down.
after another.
Yeah, and realize, like, how much that actually hurt her. Because, you know, she obviously is trying to get along with him, but I think the action still bothers up the person. So, a little blurb at the park. That was there they are, then they're done. And then we have the weirdest new friendship. Do you not agree?
Yeah.
Tamara and Emily, I do think they're funny together, I have to be honest, but they are the weirdest friendship.
They're just not, like, one you would expect together.
No, but I mean, I give them props for actually trying to work on being friendly and not, you know, harsh to each other. And I think they are so much alike. That's what I think their problem is. And they show up in this westernish kind of bar.
Yeah.
In the middle of the afternoon, it feels like. Maybe it's not, but it feels like that.
They're there for quite a while, because if you pay attention throughout their conversation, all of a sudden Emily has no people behind her, and then there's, like, all the tables behind her are packed and full. If you look behind Tamara,
so it could be coming into, like, dinner,
like a table
happy hour.
there too.
Yeah.
There's nothing on that table.
Oh yeah, because she
then
says, "Can we leave our purses there or something?" And she looked around as if there was, it was empty. And
then behind Tamara, all of a sudden there was nothing there, but then there was, like, 6 box fans all lined up all of a sudden. So if you pay attention throughout the clips, like randomly, especially towards the end of the scene, it starts changing back and forth where you could tell somebody was not keeping up with the editing there.
Sometimes I think Emily comes in to do like literal work. Like I feel like the producer's like, okay, try to meet up with so-and-so and let's try to discuss these topics. Because I know she's friends with Shannon and she's working on her friendship also with Shannon. But like that seemed like the main thing. Like she did ask Tamara some things like, do you regret the stuff you said about me? And Tamara's like, yes, I do. That was, very silly of me and all. And she asked her how things are going with her and Shannon. And I think we're starting to help build Shannon's storyline to a certain degree, whether she likes it or not, because we see at the end she doesn't like it. But they start talking about how Eddie and Tamara went out to dinner with Shannon and John, and they hadn't, Eddie hadn't seen her in a long time, and Eddie like kind of was grilling them about different things and, giving them really like the go about it. And I think they're setting it up for whatever the storyline is, because they were kind of both saying that I guess Heather shared some information. So here goes my girl Heather getting herself in trouble when she probably meant to be helpful or kind or what have you, but that's going to come back to get her in the ass.
I could see Heather being like, well, I thought she wouldn't want to hear it from me because we're like iffy, but if I told Tamara and Tamara told you, you would listen to her.
But my thing with Tamara is see, I like Tamara, but here she is like, you were just with Heather chatting it up and listening to her and complaining to her, and then she kind of is throwing Heather under the bus by saying like, I don't think she was doing it out of concern. I think she was gossiping. And I'm like, okay, you got us, you flip-flopping, girl, and that's gonna flip-flopping's gonna come back to get you eventually. But
that is the thing they do. They'll go hang out with Heather.
She's big time.
They'll use her tennis courts and the pickleball.
She's big time.
And then it's like, screw Heather.
Yeah, I don't know.
Either you're gonna hang out and get the warm towels, or you're not. Pick a side.
You better figure out what you're doing. I mean, I'd be in for the towels, but especially, everybody's getting ready now for the pool party. So if you're at Heather's house, you got a warm towel when you're coming out of that pool. That might be nice. I don't know. Maybe
I was thinking about those warm towels. Like, is the towel warmer on 24/7? Because that's a lot of electricity.
Maybe it shuts off.
I don't know, because I was thinking, because it was like, well,
it could be like a low emitting thing.
The other day when we opened the dryer, the clothes we left in there were dry, but then they got damp from humidity, so I put it back on.
No, there must be some special.
And the towels I took out were like warm. Well, I put the dryer on was for 10 minutes, so couldn't you just dry your towels for like 10 minutes?
I'm sure her lunchroom is nowhere near that bathroom.
No,
not
probably
like ours.
not, but I was like, I was just thinking about that, but I'm sure that little fraction of cost of leaving that on is like zero in that
compared
mega
to
house.
The lights. Forget it. Yeah, could be why they're not there no more. Just saying. So now you start to see all the girls are getting ready to go to Emily's mother-in-law's house, which is very nice. But you know what? For as big as that house is, the pool is mighty small. I felt.
Because isn't she on like a cliff or something?
But you could have still pulled, like, there's a lot of grassy area. I feel like she could have went a little. I don't know. I thought the pool was kind of small, which, it's just kind of like a weird, like.
I feel like all these.
What do you call that? Like.
I don't know.
No, what is it called when it's like one thing is bigger than the other, or like ratio? Like, I feel like the pool to house ratio was like a little,
when you look at these Beverly Hills and OC, they're just like, they are small pools.
Yeah, I don't get
they're
it.
Not like they're not like somewhere you could, and they're like
I don't
square.
think they're meant for children. I think they're meant for decor, which is don't build a pool for that reason, you fool. Like,
I want to swim some laps. Let's create a whirlpool. Let's have fun.
Well, not even so much a whirlpool, but like you want to be able to not be on top of each other. Like,
yeah, like
I feel
it's like
if you were,
like like the long pools that like swimmers practice.
Even
like
look at Lisa Vanderpump's pool. At least hers was like a long rectangle.
Yeah, it's like a T. It came out. Like,
well, it had little bits on the sides where you could like. I guess it was more shallow and stuff.
Yeah,
but it was like a long, deep pool.
They were swimming in there.
I'm just like, I don't know. I don't get that. But anyhow, so Taylor's the first to show up, and then Gina, and then Heather. Emily's trying to, she shows the clips of like Heather and her talking, and I think she's trying to like help Heather understand like how she speaks to people, and and I do feel like Heather's receptive to it. However, she said sometimes she takes it a little bit too far, and then Heather goes into Heatherland and she's not happy with it. I think Emily's got to tread lightly, but I think she's helpful with kind of, helping Heather,
Like I said, Emily's going to be that person in the middle. She's going to be the Dolores, but she'll still
Yeah, I do think she is turning in a little bit to a Dolores, where she's finding her footing and being, like, realizing, like, middleman is not so bad. Like,
but she still will stir the pot.
Oh, I think so. But see, Dolores doesn't stir pots, though. No, she doesn't, but Emily still likes that. So then Jen shows up, and it looks like everybody brought a friend with them, it seemed.
Yeah, because even Taylor had a friend.
Yeah. I guess they tell them, like,
one.
bring fillers?
Well, you got to fill out the party. Otherwise, it's just like
the Housewives.
Like 6 of them.
But also, look, if you bring a friend, I guess it's also a testing ground to see if they would mingle with the wives, fit in with the wives for future if you needed to beef up the party.
The parties are like housewife scouting.
Yeah. Also, Jen, when she shows up, she has no idea that Tamara has decided to bring the friend Heather to the party. Blonde Heather. So that she can, I guess, speak to her, work this out, figure out what the heck's going on. I don't know that that's a good idea, and I feel like that's Tamara's way of, yet again, keeping it going or refreshing it because, she just can't let it go. Heather has some random, wait, what is this? Heather? Shannon and Tamara come in. And they sit with them through this talk. What the hell?
Heather asks, you're trying to say Heather asked Jen to talk.
Oh,
then Shannon and
okay.
Tamara
Thank you that you're interpreting my own notes.
You're welcome.
Okay. So when the girl does show up, Heather, she, says, hey, can we go talk? I'm surprised that Jen actually did it. I didn't think she was going to. But here's the thing. She did end up leaving. So it obviously was upsetting to her in the end.
I think her goal was like, maybe if I just talk to her,
it'll just get squashed.
It will be done. Like, this will be it. Because where are we going to go from here?
You're clearly new. You're showing your newness.
Yeah.
That's not happening. Shannon and Tamara come. They sit down.
Well, yeah, because Heather gives them the heads up. Like, those two are talking over there. And then all of a sudden, Tamara just gets up. And Shannon follows behind her, and they're all like, why did Shannon go? I think Shannon went to make sure that they don't regroup. Because if the 3 of them regroup, then
it could be a new Tres Amigas.
That doesn't have Shannon involved. She has no history with Jen or Heather. That's what I think. I think Shannon's clingy.
Oh, no. Oh,
so
my God.
she's not going to drop.
No.
She's got to make sure she doesn't lose Tamara because she just became friends with her again.
Yeah, no.
And she's
but I don't know. I think
girls.
she felt bad for Jen because I think she knows.
No, I think that too. I think she felt bad for Jen, but also I think slightly a little bit subconsciously, even if she
it didn't matter. I mean, all the girls ended up over there anyway.
After they were like, oh my God, wait, Shannon's over there. Should we go over there? I feel kind of bad. Gina's like, but it seems like they kind of maxed out the chairs at 4. But the best part is they do all end up over there, and they if you pay attention, they are rearranging this backyard for them all to join into this conversation. They're pulling seats out of it where Taylor's crawling over the back of the seat and to sit with them. I know. Gina's somehow there, but she's sitting on the top part of the chair. And somehow, in the end, they all fit.
I don't know. Tamara keeps talking about, you can't lie, this whole bit about lying. And I don't know if Jen's actually lying or she just really doesn't want to share her business. And you're forcing her to share her business. They were trying to work through things, but Jen said, listen, you know what? She hurt me once. That's my fault. Shame on me. She goes, she hurts me twice. I can't do it. So I don't know if Tamara and Jen are going to make it through this because she ends up leaving.
I heard something on Instagram that Tamara said that Jen only is staying with Ryan to get on the show.
But I think she could have been on the show without him.
I saw Jen commented and said that's the most interesting thing I've ever heard or something like that.
I think she could have been on the show without him because I'm not that impressed with him. I think she would have been fine. Yeah. She has a husband. Her whole husband story would have been interesting. Actually, it would have probably been more interesting that she's still married to him and he comes back and forth and integral in her family business, but yet not with him. She could have got away with that. She's still technically a housewife because she's still married to him. So this guy didn't need to be in the show. That's just me personally.
You know what I got a hankering for? Your face. Those cookies. And they have the gem in the middle and you dunk one side in chocolate with some sprinkles.
Okay, sure. I'll get right on that. I did find a cookie recipe that's supposed to be a cheesecake thing with the thumbprints with the jam in the top. Yeah. Could probably use the same thing.
Got a little hankering for that.
So let's regroup. So Jen leaves, and after Jen leaves, everybody else is just kind of standing around talking, and all of a sudden, I don't know if it was it Heather or was it Tamara or somebody goes, what is that? They broke out the big adult slip inside, which basically just looked, I was going to say, it looked like a tarp, which works. It works. Yeah. It's just, you just need water, possibly a little soap. Sometimes makes it a little more slidey.
A little spray tan, gets you going slippery.
Ugh. Well, yeah, everybody was a little grossed out because the water was a little murky, but it was because of the spray tan. I mean, hence Shannon, they showed her when she was getting ready, like...
That thing did not set in time.
No, I think it was more like just a coloring on her skin, to be honest with you, that she was kind of doing one of those, like, Sally Hansen's, like, where you, you know, you airbrush, kind of, it's called, like, an airbrush thing. I think that's what she, and maybe perhaps, like, bronzer, I don't know. It was, somebody's was all over that.
Gina.
It had to be Gina.
Gina and Emily both.
Well, I think it was mostly Emily because Emily really has a lot of spray tan on. Usually, she usually has a lot of spray tan. But
every time someone leaves their mark of spray tan, all I can think about is Barbara from New York getting that spray tan all over the bed.
That was
like
that was probably
all I can think.
That was probably
like every time
worst.
I'm like somebody gets spray tan on
yeah,
something.
hers was
I'm
probably
like,
because she acted like she didn't even
didn't
know
even care.
Do it.
Doesn't care.
No, she was fully up in there.
But that's all I can think about.
They were all a little bit reluctant to go down the slip and slide, but then Emily and Gina did it. And then you see, out of nowhere, all of a sudden Tamara goes, and some other there was a couple of other unidentifiables go down it. And then, of course, Tamara, as usual, takes her top off and flashes people, and then flashes her bottom. And then Emily, I think... Wasn't it Emily took her top off? Somebody else on the ground took their top off.
Yeah, when she was down the slip and slide. She just flashed. She kept
just
it
flashed,
on,
but, you know, Tamara left her top off, as always. It was just crazy.
My favorite part, though, was Heather's like, we don't have budget for censoring the nipples anymore.
No, yeah. She's like, close it up. And the worst part was they're like, yeah, her and Shannon are like, yeah, we're not going on that murky water, and my body shall not touch. And then magically... out of nowhere, as if she knew there was going to be a slip and slide.
They knew there. I think they might have known there.
I don't know. She whips out a full body swimsuit that her skin shall not touch. God bless you, Heather.
Because she said it was for like water parks when she went with the kids. Her body doesn't touch the
slides. I don't blame her.
I would too. Like I would like, I'd love to go to a good water park, but I don't want to go in that gross kiddie water.
That's true.
But what if the water now gets in and now it's sitting and festering in the suit?
I don't think it is. I think it's supposed to keep you dry. I think that's the whole thing. But I think it's more that she doesn't want her body like touching the slides and stuff. I
don't know, but I'm taking notes.
I don't know. I think that's a good idea. Shannon in her full-blown Spanx. At least she's learned to get black so that it actually looks like, you know, running shorts or, you know, the Hispanic shorts.
She had a full bathing suit on at first.
Yeah, I mean, when she comes with the flesh color one, it doesn't, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So the black was a little bit better of a thing. So now we have, you know, the girls have a little bit of fun.
Now they do the little, after Emily's house, now this is where they do the like, do, where everybody is. They saved it for the end.
Yeah, they did a little bit, they like flip-flopped it and put it towards the end. And you see Ryan and Jen, and what you think is a therapist.
They labeled her as a therapist, I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember what her name was. I should have took note, but they labeled her as a therapist, as you're saying. I thought she was a therapist because it was the traditional couple on a couch, her in a chair, they're talking, and then all she says something like, how do you want
me to clear the energy?
How do you want to well, she said something, how do you want to clear the energy? So I'm thinking she's asking them for what do they want to do? Like as if to say, well, I think, you know, if we were to do X, Y, and Z together. No, she says, I'll let you lead. You can lead or something. And all of a sudden you hear.
And I thought she was going to give her advice.
What the hell?
I don't know.
She was
like an
labeled it on the
clearer.
TV, chanting. So she was chanting. And I'm thinking, I want to see you guys look crazy about this. But no, they closed their eyes and were like.
Even at the end, Ryan was like, I really felt that, but I feel like he was being sarcastic.
Then you go over to Gina, who is making... There's a lot of references, I'm going to be honest, in this episode to Gina being Italian and cooking, and I don't know
They got to make that New York tagline make sense.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but she basically made sauce from a jar, so I don't know who she's talking about.
All because they mentioned food in that first thing at the park, and that's why they're doing this.
I don't know.
There's no other reason.
She was saying that she got approved for her to take her, I guess, the next steps with the real estate license, and she says that she feels that her drinking, see, that's what I'm saying, I think her drinking stuff was so heavy on her that she feels that the drinking was like pacifying things, and that's why she wasn't dealing with stuff. That like it was just like numbing her, and she has a clearer mind and knows what she's, I guess, doing. And then of course they go over to the best part of the night.
Yeah.
Save the best for last. So Tamara's showing up at a restaurant, and you don't know who she's meeting with yet because you can't, like, they just show her walking in, but then you hear the voice, and it's Vicky. Vicky's already got shots out on the table. Shots out on the table.
You know what I love too about this? They played the OG
music while
like it was
she was getting
you know,
up.
like when a superhero appears in the thing and you hear like their theme, it was like
a little bit of a tribute to Vicky, which I thought was nice. Yeah, they played the intro music when Vicky came, like when she came onto the screen. It was interesting, and they played it all the whole time till she sat back down too. I noticed that. Then of course the final installment of the Tres Amigos, Shannon shows up. Amigas. I'm not sure what they're doing because they're sitting there, and Vicky says, "Let's sing Kumbaya. Let's do Kumbaya." Oh. Tamara goes, "What are we, praying or something?"
No, I think she said, "Let's say like Kumbaya."
Like, yeah, but she went to grab hands or something.
And then I think Tamara said, "Are we going to pray?"
And then Tamara goes,
that'll be good too.
Well, then Tamara goes, "What are we doing, praying?" And she goes, "Yeah, we could pray." And then she starts praying. And then I think it's funny because Tamara says, "I think it's..."
Hell has arrived. We have to hurry.
So Tamara says, "I think it's funny that Vicky is..."
Good morning. Let me preface this. Let me give you guys a visual here. I'm going to try to describe it. All you see her go is open her mouth and go, like her jaw just keeps shuddering trying to get the word out.
Okay, let's go. So Tamara thinks it's funny that Vicky is praying to Jesus about them getting drunk together, and Vicky states that Jesus knows who she is, which is true. You know, they start talking a little bit about relationships, and somehow they get over to Shannon and John. And Vicky starts talking about different things, saying that if you don't take care of your husband, someone else will. So, you know, you need to be careful. And somehow, I don't remember how they
Tamara
kind
just asks her, "Do you?"
She said something about
Vicky asks,
Heather.
"How are they with all the girls?" Like,
yeah.
I think Tamara asked Vicky, "How are you with the girls?" And she says, "Not really."
And she said something about trusting Heather, and that she's gotten closer to Heather. And she asks if she trusts Heather with the stuff that she shares with her.
Yeah.
And she says, "Yes, I do believe that Heather is a vault and that she keeps it in the vault." And Tamara makes a face.
And Vicky's like, "She knows something. She knows
well,
something."
Well, even Shannon said it first,
too.
I know, Shannon was
the
like,
way Vicky,
"What, do you know something?"
That.
And then I guess her face kept saying it, and then
Vicky
said that,
said
and then Vicky's like, "No, she knows something. What do you know? No, keep it in the vault. Don't say it, but what do you know? I want to know. I got to know." She did a typical Vicky, which was like really interesting. And then all of a sudden you see Shannon get up, and you think she's leaving because she's pissed. Yeah. Oh, no, she's not.
They show her at the producer's table.
She broke what? The fourth wall? Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
A big time broke the fourth wall.
She didn't actually even talk to any of the people on the camera. She went right to the producers.
Yeah. She went over to this table where they were sitting in the corner, and all of them, I guess, had their little screens and what such.
Where they're monitoring.
Yeah, and which was, I'm sorry, but like, see, I like that because I like to see like where they are in relationship, which this I did like because obviously we know there was a camera on them per se, and it's just interesting to see like the backdrop, but she really was going in on them saying like, if this is what we're doing, which some of it didn't make sense to me. I don't know if you got this take, but she was like, if we're going to bring up my relationship, then I have no relationship. My relationship is over with. Like, I have no relationship. So I'm like, what went on? That was so like that you're saying like your relationship would be over. Like what was discussed?
Well,
what
here's
happened?
My thing, because just recently, last night or a few nights ago when this aired,
yeah, you said
she was apparently getting taken out of this restaurant for yelling at John's daughter. But here's the thing: then she posted a picture with John and said "great dinner," and people in the comments saying, "Didn't sound like it was a great dinner," according to page 6.
She could be trying to clean up, but I mean, I think when it comes to these guys in her life, she gets so crazy and like, I don't want to say obsessive, but like a little bit like where...
And they're nothing to even obsess
No, but
over.
I think she just like thinks she has to hold on to them so tightly that it does screw it up for her. And she becomes, like you said, a little clingy, and I think she's clingy in all her relationships, and I don't think it's bad move for her. So
that's why I said last week, I think Shannon needs a little time to herself, figure it out, but clearly...
Do you think it's going to pick up next week where this left off, like with them?
Yeah, it's to be continued.
Okay.
So, I mean, we got, I will say this episode felt very long. But not like in a great way.
I think it's because instead of like the other place, like where they were just in that ranch, whatever setting, and then like all that was like we were there for so long that I feel like this was more like where it was more like the show, like where it's like, okay, they're here shopping, okay, then they're doing this, then they're at lunch, okay, now they're at Emily's thing, and now they are again doing a different brunch. I think when they do that, it does it makes you feel like you're having different shows like within the show.
With the little like where they show where everybody is after Emily's party, like I think it felt like Emily's party should have been it.
Yeah.
And then you realize, oh crap, there's more, and then there's like the Vicky thing, and I think they would have started the episode like where they started doing all that, like, here's where everybody is next week, but I feel like it was more like, let's just put that here because it's gonna be more enticing to end this on a cliffhanger than showing you everything that happens with Shannon, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean, obviously this is a better way to.
Yeah,
they could have done one of those start things like that I was just commenting on the other day, like where you see her starting the show with her talking to the producers, wondering how they got there. But I still think it would have been.
Yeah, no, I think this is better.
The Vicky surprise needed to be. But see, here's my thing. It's like, this is not how I thought Vicky was coming back. I thought Vicky was coming back where they showed that
Mexico trip.
No, but I thought it was where they showed her, where they opened the door and then she's like,
surprise! She's gonna surprise her on the Mexico trip, though. Like, she's
maybe that was coming. The Mexico trip. Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Could be. Very interesting. But needless to say, that's all she wrote for this week. And we have to now wait and see what could be so traumatic.
We have no sneak previews because we have never before seen. All I can hope is everybody else at home watches it on there, and nobody else has. We all hope you don't have cable so that you have to
suffer like us. Wow, all in together, girls suffering. That's interesting. All right, well, I say we wrap it up because
that's it. People are waking up next door, so we definitely gotta go. That's pretty much it for this week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you'll leave us a good rating. Make sure if you're on YouTube, you give us a thumbs up. Don't give us a thumbs down. I'd say leave a comment telling us how we can improve. Subscribe, follow.
People encourage.
And turn on notifications. We post OC every Monday, New York on Wednesdays, and Crappy on Thursdays. And then check out our other podcast. We talk about it all. We just put an update of where we were for the last few weeks. So make sure to check that. We do it every other Friday there. And it was a doozy, that episode.
For us anyway. Oh, that was my stomach.
Feel a little bit hungry, love.
Yeah. It's saying, please move it along, please.
All right, well, that's it. We're waiting on you to say it.
Okay, hit the button. Wrap it up. Shut it down. Hit the button.